Sit down and listen, I'll tell you the tale of Sin Cara, the man with no face. No mouth and no eyes, he flew through the skies and set our world ablaze. Yeah, he set our whole world ablaze. He came to this land with roids in his hand, and he burned his name in the stone. Then rose up a man with a sinister plan to take that name as his own. He would take that name as his own. The two men did fight through the dark of the night, and the word of their battle spread wide. The whole world was watching as the two men were botching their way to the other side. Their way to the other side. Sin Cara is gone away, though his legend continues to climb. His botches live on in our hearts and our minds until the end of time. Until the end of time. Imposter defeated, Sin Cara succeeded in earning the love of the crowd. He continued to botch for the people to watch, but it soon came tumbling down. Yes, it all came tumbling down. The end of his story is a battle for glory, the point of which cannot be said. On a dive, now he isn't alive. That's right, Sin Cara is dead. I said Sin Cara is dead. Yeah, Sin Cara is gone away. The legend continues to climb. His botches live on in our hearts and our minds until the end of time. Sin Cara is gone away. To climb, the botches live on in our hearts and our minds until the end of time. Until the end of time. Olay!
Alright, that was Botch On by Shining Rosado, which is our new theme song, but we are back on the air.
I wonder
Are you sure this time? Are you sure this time? I mean, this is like twice in a lifetime here, is it?
This is an absolute shit show, and not at all what this is like every week. And we had one person that was actually in here, and now they are gone because of this fucking awkward shit show.
Way to go, Yankum DS. So this is Movie and Serious number 154. I'm Gunner. That's Omega.
Yeah, we need to hurry this up. My Dance Moms is almost over.
Oh no. And also joining us this week is the one that didn't fuck up, and that's Nat Jester.
Hi, everybody. Because I had something on YouTube that I won't replay, I'll just say, Hallelujah, Hallelujah, Hallelujah. And that's
enough.
Do you see what happens, Yankum?
Look, I can't be blamed for Spreaker failing.
I'm going to anyways, because you are a technical producer, and us getting out on the air every week is your responsibility.
One time.
And we just had somebody else join us.
Well, hopefully they'll be able to stick around.
I didn't forget.
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's the Croc.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not alone either, baby! Time to fucking die! The tag team.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus, we got the tag team this week, too. Alright, guys. So, since there's really no news this week other than Brock re-signing, sticking with the WWE for a multi-year contract, and retiring officially from the MMA world, we've pretty much talked about that. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of today. we're going to go right into the 15-minute time limit. This week on the 15-minute time limit, we're going to talk about Shindies. No, I'm lying. Talking about WrestleMania 31 predictions. So, starting off the show, in the ratio, we have Cesaro, Tyson Kidd, the champions, versus the Usos, versus Los Matadores, versus the New Day for the Tag Team Championship.
Wow, this is going to be either a tremendously fun match or an absolute clusterfuck, one or the other.
It can be both.
Well, with the Usos and the New Day, I can agree with that, but still, if they're gonna take the belts from Kidd and Cesaro and put them on,
I'm gonna stop you right there, and I'm just gonna remind you of something.
What?
The Burger King chicken fries are back.
Oh God! You remind me of that. The nearest Burger King is 100 miles away from me, and you would have to remind me of that. Anyway,
where do you live? Siberia?
Close enough.
Pretty close, yeah.
They just have Wendy's there.
Oh, we had a Wendy's, and our Wendy's got shut down by the Wendy's Corporation for health code violations.
Jesus.
Exactly.
Can we talk about wrestling?
Hey,
Sure. All right. Well,
chicken fries.
you got this tag team rigmarole, and it's funny that Los Matadores come out of nowhere, and the Usos with Jay's injured shoulder, but the reformed Primetime Players aren't in it. The Ascension isn't in it. So
The Ascension isn't ready, brother.
Question to everybody.
What?
Yeah.
Do you think the Ascension, they've given up on him, or do they think, like you said, Gunnar, they're not ready?
Oh, they're not ready. No, they are not ready. They're not ready at all. They're still floundering a little bit. So they'll need some time and a nice long summertime.
I disagree. I think it's that they gave up on them.
Oh, really? Why do you think they gave up on them?
Well, just the same thing they always do when they give up on an act, because it didn't immediately click in their minds, and if it's something they're not personally excited for, such as a Roman Reigns, then,
Hi, baby girl.
it is kind of polarizing that things they like or are excited for or were their idea, they'll make every excuse in the world for, but things they just don't care about, not even hate or dislike, but just don't care about either way. If it doesn't click immediately, then it's just not worth paying attention to, really.
Such a strange thing. Who do you think will win? Who do you think will win?
Oh, I don't know.
The question is, does it matter?
Well, kind of. It's for the tag belts.
Well,
They really should keep them on Cesaro and Kidd, who just had a T-shirt released, by the way.
Yes, but they won't.
I'm pretty sure they will. It's a nice T-shirt, by the way. And that chicken fry spot was like the funniest thing I've seen in a long while.
It was.
It was, but unfortunately, it was at Natty's expense.
Go ahead.
Lesnar signing this new deal today is honestly saving WrestleMania, to be honest. What do you guys think?
Oh, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Well, that could very well be the truth. I mean,
It could be if they decide to do the right thing, but the WWE.
What match are we on right now?
We're just talking about
the pre-show tag team for Fatal 4-Way.
I'll get back in it when we're talking about like the ladder match, because I got a lot to say about that.
All right. And then we have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
I don't even know who's in this.
Basically,
everyone
everybody
else.
who's not already in a match, like
Whoever doesn't have a match and is under contract,
And I'm
probably does a
stoned.
match.
the Primetime Players and the Ascension.
I am hyped about this for one reason in particular. Somebody from NXT, maybe 2 or 3 somebodies from NXT, are going to be in this sucker, and they're going to show up everybody else, I believe.
At least one will be, because they're having a tournament at the NXT event in California, a mini tournament between Hideo Itami, Tyler Breeze, Adrian Neville, and Finn Balor, if I remember that right. And the winner
Yeah.
gets in the battle one.
Well, and this would coincide with what I saw today on Twitter and social media, everything like that. The word on NXT apparently is that Finn Balor is going to be called up after WrestleMania. So if he wins this tournament, goes on to the Battle Royal, wins the Battle Royal, boom, there you go. Next time on Mania, he debuts, gets the fucking Andre the Giant.
I don't think that they'll let whatchamacallit. I don't think they'll let him debut at the Battle Royal when the entrances are going to be shit. And well, basically his WWE gimmick is his fucking entrance.
That's very true.
So I don't see him winning. I see Neville winning.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think Neville is the more obvious choice, and I think, which is worrisome because all these rumors of Mighty Mouse and this and that. But
I really hope that that's just a fucking. I really hope that's just a fucking rib, because it sounds like a rib.
I heard from what I've read and seen, it sounds like it really is. Like it's not. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, but about 2 weeks ago, they did say that Adrian Neville was never considered for real to be the Mighty Mouse. Apparently, it was for some guy who ended up signing with, I think it was the UFC or some other. Yeah, it was the UFC.
Well, I don't think it's literally meant to be Mighty Mouse. It's just a bad analogy to what they wanted, which is like a guy who is sort of like a hero type, but smaller, and he kind of almost like the Hurricane reincarnated as something new.
Oh,
with a lot less goof.
Yeah, not necessarily dressed up as a superhero, but with all the mannerisms and bravado and such.
I don't know about that. Superheroes are pretty hot these days. If you take a look at the movie box office.
Yeah, but they're not creative enough to come up with
something good. Yes. Who's winning? Who's winning?
Dude, put every single one of them on a wall, throw a dart.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it even really matters who wins. I don't even remember who won last year. It's not like it means anything.
You don't remember that Cesaro won it last year?
Remember that Cesaro won it? Oh, man.
No, I had forgotten, because, how much have they really...
Well, they did destroy the trophy.
That too.
Well, the popular bet is Damien Mizdow in his penultimate act of defying the Miz.
It makes sense because that could lead to a match at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, but again, the winning the Battle Royal doesn't really mean anything, and again, Mizdow that's not even really his name. Sandow is worrisome because, as popular as he is right now, it is essentially all a tether to the Miz. So can he come back and find a character beyond that that's still popular? Yeah.
Yeah, he probably will. In my opinion, because Damien Sandow was over before everything happened. If you all would remember why he got in this position in the first place. I remember he got fired by the Authority, and Miz hired him back. So it's going to require someone to hire him back and give him a new WWE contract because he's been working for the Miz this whole time, which is the beauty of this feud. I do believe that Mizdow will win this. And then we'll see a nice little feud that'll last probably till June, and then maybe Miz will go away for a few months after a Loser Leaves Town match, which would make me very, very happy.
Go film another movie.
Yeah,
exactly.
Another movie. Go make the next Marine.
Don't ever do that.
Speaking of movies that should be made, AJ and Paige versus the Bella Twins.
Woo, right there, Gunner.
That should be made right there. Who wins?
Who cares? No, I'm kidding. AJ Lee and Paige, no doubt.
Yeah, I don't see this going any other... Well, actually, I take that back. I think the Bellas are going to go over at Mania, and then in the follow-up, AJ is going to go down, and Paige is going to get the title. Because I know AJ just came back, but she doesn't seem real stoked to be there.
Yeah, she's... I don't know. It's very rude.
I think the Bellas will turn on each other. Maybe, they got together just because anyway. If you remember, they were feuding
Right.
and then they weren't.
Yep.
And there was no justification at all given for why they weren't feuding anymore. It was just like, oh, well,
For everyone, though. For the main event, I would say like the main storylines, yeah, but like for the storyline, would they really give any justification?
I think the Bella Twins will. No, I really think that the Bella Twins will win, and that's their moment to shine as the Bella Twins. So there you go.
yeah, they're getting towards the end anyway.
And they'll probably turn on each other after WrestleMania, and it'll be wonderful. They'll feud, and then Brie will win the title for a little while, and then Paige will beat her, and then we'll see the new chicks come up, and it'll probably end up being like, what should we call her? No, what's her face? No, Flair's kid, basically. Next.
Yeah, Charlotte.
Yeah, I guarantee you she wins the Divas Championship by the end of 2015.
The new
Oh,
Queen
God,
of the
yes,
Divas
I would
division.
put money
I'm all
on
for
that.
And by the end of 2015, I believe that's going to happen.
I'll be super stoked for that because, I mean, that's going to be a huge win for trans people everywhere.
So,
Trains people?
you
I'm
said
sorry.
by the end of 15. That's mean. By the end of 15, would you say by SummerSlam or at SummerSlam?
No, I would say just by the end of 15.
Okay.
Speaking of things that should happen, Bad News Barrett versus Dean Ambrose versus R-Truth versus Luke Harper versus Dolph Ziggler versus Stardust versus Daniel Bryan versus a mystery opponent. I thought there was a mystery opponent in there. In a ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship.
It's R-Truth, spoiler.
No, it's already R-Truth is already in there.
Oh, shit, how did I miss that? Then who the fuck is it?
It's a pasty white fellow.
Oh, for the love of fuck, no! Why?
No, I don't think so.
Shameful thing. It's really a shameful thing.
Don't you dare.
It's a shame that whatchamacallit, Daniel Bryan's gonna get a little lobster in his beard.
So, you said you had a lot to say, right?
Yeah, I do have a lot to say about this match. Number one, it's going to be Spot-A-Mania, because we've got Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, and Daniel Bryan, who are probably going to risk a lot. Plus, Luke Harper has been known to actually do some really cool spots as well himself. Stardust might actually take a few, I think. R-Truth, maybe, I don't know, possibly. And we've got, more than likely, Sheamus as the 8th member in the match. Hopefully this is going to steal the show, which I think it is, because they're all hungry as hell, for the time that they're going to be getting for this match. So I honestly think they're really going to try hard to steal the show and, hopefully put on one of the best ladder matches we've seen
In a long time.
in a long time.
Yeah, this match is going to be a pack of Dalmatians.
Woo! I can't wait.
It's going to be a pack of Dalmatians.
It's gonna be a spot fest, dummy.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a spot fest, and honestly, it's the only real match I'm looking forward to. The only other things I'm looking forward to is to see if Sting is going to wear a shirt during his match with Triple H. I want to see what The Undertaker's looking like. Hopefully he debuts somewhat his older look or something, but he has been looking like he's kind of fat in his recent pics.
You, not me.
And I just want to see what's going to happen in the main event, see if The Rock's going to show up. But back to the ladder match. Those are the only really things that I'm really looking forward to for WrestleMania.
Who wins?
The ladder match?
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I agree. I think, Truth, Harper, and Stardust, they're not in contention to win.
Yeah, and I don't
Ambrose-
see Ziggler winning, although I would not mind it at all because
Yeah.
I love Dolph Ziggler.
Well, the
But
thing
I-
of it is, too, is Ziggler has had the Intercontinental title probably close to as many times as Barrett has, and it really hasn't done anything for either one of them.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate because Dolph Ziggler's really good. Daniel Bryan, you can tell he's been winding down ever since coming back from his injury in his matches, kind of. He's still awesome though. He's still like the most over on the roster still too. So I don't mind if he wins either, really.
Well, the only other option is Ambrose, and he kind of initiated this whole thing.
That's the thing about it too. He was originally supposed to just face Wade Barrett at Mania, win the title, all of a sudden it turns to an awesome ass, very well built WrestleMania match, which, you know, seems like he may not end up winning, but honestly, I would really want him to win. But who I really think is going to win is probably Daniel Bryan.
I would be okay with this because that would mean that you've got a former champion, a former world champion, and former I can't remember.
Yes,
He's held the WWE and the.
Yes.
Okay, well, there you go. So, and then Cena probably going to go over for the U.S. title, which we'll talk about in a minute. But then you've got, you know, former world champs holding these mid-card titles and maybe boosting up their worth a little bit.
Now hold on just a gosh darn minute, and I'm just going to talk something here because I understand that y'all like to think that this is what they're going to do because you read it in the dirt sheets. But we're going to talk a second here about realistics. The booking in this would indicate, in actuality, that Bad News Barrett will retain his title at the Intercontinental at the ladder match because of this insanity. And what sold me on it was the moment with Kane when he handed over the championship on Raw. I guarantee you that this is some sort of foreshadowing where he gets his title back and then he goes on a tear of some sort. This might be my Barrett optimism, which is ever present ever since like 2010. Or whatever it is, but I'm going to predict that Barrett retains the title at this particular match. If not Daniel Bryan.
Well, I'll say this, for my sake, anyone can win in this, in my opinion. Really, anyone can use the elevation. Anyone.
Alright, we'll move on. Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins. This is pretty obvious.
Probably the match I'm least excited for on the card.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a Rusev, I don't know why I said Rusev match. There's a Cena match in there, and that's the one you're least excited for?
Well, I mean, I would argue this match is maybe as predictable as the Cena match. You got the whole dynamic between Orton and Rollins, which, I mean, it's not bad. It's not a criticism of either man. It just seems like out of every match on the card, this one has sort of that kind of, you know, textbook feud of Rollins put him on the shelf, and then Orton came back and has been beating him up ever since, and then they're going to have the match, but it's like, you know, it's really a match that is defined by the match itself. You know, on paper, it's just another match. You know, it's a match they could have had on Raw. But, you know, it depends on if they come up with something.
Would you say would you say this match pretty much decides if Seth Rollins is involved in the main event at all?
Oh, of course, because, I mean, it's going to sit here and it's going to say, you know, if he comes out of it and he wins, or he comes out of it and he's not, you know, terribly injured, like, you know, Edge was on that one show that I'm trying to remember, if it was a WrestleMania or not, against Flair, I think he faced, or Miz faced Flair, or something like that. One of those. But I could see Seth getting involved in the main event, depending on how things go. We will see, though, because we'll talk about the main event in a minute. I do believe that Orton will win, though.
Yeah.
By disqualification, though.
Oh, yes. Let's make no bones about this. Hey, this is, I know everybody was wanting to pass this one over, but I am anxious to see this. No other reason to have our good friend Randall Orton show his sociopathic skills once again. I want him to punt Seth into next week. I'm not sure it'll happen, but some bloody, wonderful Randy Orton vengeance is top thing on my fantasy for WrestleMania.
Woo!
Well, I would like to see Jazz.
Look, you can't crap all over every match on this card for the build up for it. I mean, you can, like, match wise, as far as, the two guys in the ring, a lot of these matchups aren't bad. Like on paper, you look at it, you're like, this looks like this is not a bad card. The problem is that the lead up into it, which is what we talked about last week, everything up to this point has been mediocre, fucking tepid shit at best, and that's why we're all like, well, I mean, it's Randy Orton versus Seth.
I was just gonna say what in Orton cares or not.
I tell you, I would like to see Rollins win. And Rollins, he just wins. Maybe dirty. Probably dirty.
Probably dirty.
But he wins. He skirts the punt. He skirts the punt. The referee is looking the other way. J&J, blast Orton with something. Orton's down. Rollins leaps in the air, curb stomp, gets the pin, and that's it. He wins the match, and Orton doesn't get his predictable.
I could very well see that happening.
As the future just did it.
I could very well see that happening as well, but I believe that there will be some sort of shenanigans. Yeah, exactly.
So if Joey Mercury gets punted in the head, will that reset his vocal cords?
No.
Damn.
But alright, so we're going to move on here, because we're done with this match. And we're going to talk about my favorite match of the night. I'm not afraid to say this, because I'm very interested after the last promo from Raw. The Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt for the powers of the Undertaker.
Let me ask, is this supposed to be a passing of the torch in this match? Because but there's no heat to light it.
Exactly.
Well, he's been dead for so many years now. I mean, come on, what do you expect?
Please. Are you kidding me? Undertaker has more life in him than the insane batshit cat has been going on for the past 4.5 months about.
I could see Bray losing this easily.
That's the way I see it.
It's Bray losing it, Undertaker getting his win back, and then whatchamacallit? No mention of the streak. But a Sting thing. Maybe
it's gonna be Undertaker's gonna go over. Undertaker's gonna go over and get his win back. And then next year will be the Undertaker's last WrestleMania match, and it will be versus Sting.
I'd pay to see that.
And that would not surprise me at all. But I want to see. Okay, I really want to see Bray Wyatt really actually have a great match. I mean, he faced John Cena last year, and that was really good. And I really want to see this be a really, really good match. And I really want to see Bray go over. Not necessarily go over and win, go over because, he's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm. I think this will establish Bray Wyatt as a very big contender for the foreseeable future. I do agree, Taker's, so that way we can set up 32 Sting Taker, have their final match in the sun, and go with a bang.
I really think that people have been under, and they're attributing it more to like a Undertaker A-Train kind of thing, when I don't think it's going to be that at all.
No, not at all.
All I can say is his promos are driving me nuts. I'm crazy. Everybody knows that as an established fact, and his promos are driving me nuts. So, Undertaker, I have one thing to say. Declare rabbit season.
Yeah, as an injury contest, it probably is being underestimated, but just Wyatt as a concept I'm not into. He's never really done anything important. He's feuded with guys, but nothing's ever happened because of it. He doesn't have the mystique that The Undertaker did. his promos are awful. I mean, awful in the sense that they just anything. It's just gibberish talk. It's
all of them,
side of the street
all
with
of
the
them,
sandwich board.
All of them, but this week. All of them, but this week. This week was pretty fucking awesome. I mean, you can't sit there and say that you can't.
I'm just saying, if this is really supposed to be about.
His promos are supposed to be like that. You have to look at him and go, okay, this is obviously to go back and look at any Charles Manson interview and find anything that he says to make any sense whatsoever.
Okay.
But it has to mean at some point.
No. It has to mean something to him. It doesn't have
No.
You don't understand
this particular
crazy.
story.
Otherwise, it's not crazy.
Yank 'em. It's not supposed to be all crazy. It's just supposed to be fucking getting over. And he didn't get over until, yesterday, basically. And that's how I see it at this point. This better do it. Otherwise, Bray Wyatt's going to be... And then the two Wyatt boys are going to be... Which is really sad because both of them are good workers.
I think after this WrestleMania, Wyatt will probably take like a month's vacation. We won't see him for a little while. And then he'll come back trying to say that he won the powers of The Undertaker and come back with some sort of cult leader / sorcerer supreme gimmick or something.
You mean the Wyatt family?
Well, maybe Wyatt family.
New members.
It'll just be a knockoff of Doc Strange.
He'll come back when they need another feud ended. They need an excuse to end another feud, like when he came back the last time, interrupting the match between Ambrose and Rollins.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. Speaking of that reaction, Rusev versus Cena for the United States Championship. If there is any other conclusion, if there is any other conclusion other than Rusev making John Cena tap out for the second time in his career, it will be a waste and it will be a disappointment, completely and totally.
Well,
I remember that.
for a fact that's not going to happen.
You can't do this with this match. And when we were talking about Orton Rollins, I brought up the idea of Rollins, just going over, and that was it, even with a dirty win. But you just can't do it with this one. There's too much on the line. There's Cena's entire reputation. There's national pride. It just can't happen.
Work is on the line, boy.
Yep, that's the problem. That's a big problem, isn't it?
I'm okay with Cena winning this and keeping the U.S. title for a while.
Well, there's that idea that if Bryan wins the Intercontinental and Cena wins the U.S. and Lesnar actually stays, which now that we know he is staying, but, probably he got a deal he can't refuse, which in my mind either means less dates or a heck of a lot more money. But either way, it's not like he's going to be showing up every week or month even. So, it's basically... If the U.S. and IC titles held by Cena and Bryan respectively are then a showcase and an actual main event pay-per-view fodder, then yeah, I have seen no problem with that.
Rusev, and I'm sorry, Gunnar, you're gonna hate me.
As
I said after Fastlane, right after it, the show after Fastlane, I came on here and I told you guys what's gonna happen. I maintained it. John Cena is going to make Rusev tap out to the STF in the middle of that goddamn ring in front of all of his Cena maniacs in like 8 minutes.
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so?
I don't think...
You don't think it'll be that long?
I don't think...
You don't think that Cena will win?
Long. I don't think it's going to go that long. I think it's going to be before that. I think you're looking at maybe like SummerSlam, because Fastlane is in fall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the pay-per-view schedule. I make myself look like an idiot.
Fastlane just happened.
I thought that's what he said, that it was going to go to Fastlane.
No,
and then
No, he's saying that he's gonna make Rusev tap out right now, which is a complete and total waste of a Rusev character, killing pretty much every
Absolutely, you're right.
And I don't.
If he
I
gets some
don't.
tap, yeah.
I don't see a way where Rusev doesn't come out of this without him damaged, without a decisive victory, whether it be pinfall, submission, or some sort of knockout.
Well, everybody's